Psalm 110 to Psalm 110 today. Noah, why don't you take it away and read for us?
All right. Psalm 110. A psalm of David. The Lord said to my Lord, sit at my right hand till I make your enemies your footstool. The Lord shall send the rod of your strength out of Zion. Rule in the midst of your enemies. Your people shall be volunteers in the day of your power, in the beauties of holiness from the womb of the morning. You have the dew of your youth. The Lord has sworn and will not relent. You are priests forever according to the order of Melchizedek. The Lord is at your right hand. He shall execute kings in the day of his wrath. He shall judge among the nations. He shall fill the places with dead bodies. He shall execute the heads of many countries. He shall drink of the brook by the wayside. Therefore he shall lift up the head.
Well, as I look at Psalm 110, I will tell you, as if you're a student of the Bible, Psalm 110 is one of the most often quoted in the New Testament. And I'll tell you, if you're familiar with those quotations, it ought to be a treasure to you. The very first one it talks about in verse 1, it's been cited over and over again. Jesus applies that to himself in Matthew chapter 22. But in 1 Corinthians 15, it's also alluded to in verse 25. And it reminds us that Jesus has all authority and power. God has given the kingdom to him until such time as the resurrection occurs. Down in verse 4, it talks about Melchizedek and the priesthood of Jesus Christ. It's referred to in Hebrews beginning in chapter 4. And I guess there's one real takeaway for me from that is that even here in the midst of these Psalms that are meant to be comforting to the people then, God is still looking forward to the ultimate comfort that comes in Christ Jesus. And the fact that we can celebrate all of these blessings if you're in Christ. So that's one of the first kind of takeaways I look at from this psalm. But maybe the one I want to just focus on the most. If you noticed in verse 1, it said, the Lord said to my Lord, sit at my right hand. Jesus is sitting at the right hand of the throne of God. It talks about his position and his power. But as Psalm 109 ended, we notice he stands at the right hand of the needy. He sits at the right hand of God, but he stands by those who put their trust in him. And I think that's one of the great takeaways to me of these two Psalms or thoughts. What are your thoughts?
I love that. I love what you said. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Please comment any thoughts that you have about this passage or any others that we've covered or are going to cover. Really appreciate you all joining us today. Hope you have a good